We all know the one album that most hip-hop fans are waiting for, and it's Kendrick Lamar's new album. And we just got word that he will be most likely dropping this new album in June or before of 2022 because he will be performing new music at the Milano Summer Festival on June 23rd, 2022. So guys, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button because we'll be keeping you guys updated with everything that happens for this rollout in terms of him dropping a new single, him dropping the album or confirming it. We'll be here for all of that, so make sure to stay connected with us. But going right into this article, man, it's super interesting because it's actually written in Italian. So a lot of people were doing like these Italian to English translations, but I'll read it out in Italian first, then translate it for you guys in English. So it says, Al Milano Summer Festival, giovedì 23 giugno 2022, dove suonerà I pezzi del nuovo album tanto aspettato dai fan. So that means that he'll be performing the new pieces from his new album when he's performing for this festival. So how do you feel, man?
First of all, congratulations on the Italian reading. That was fire. And listen, I'm super down for this. You know, every time we end up doing a Kendrick update video about the rollout or whatever else happens, there's always this sort of mysterious aura around the piece that's never really confirmed. So my biggest thing was going back to 2021 and looking at Day in Vegas. Day in Vegas said he wasn't performing anything. You know, he will only be performing stuff from Section 80 to Damn. But this comes out now saying that he will be performing new pieces from his new album that is highly anticipated by the fans.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous in my eyes because why would this be coming out? You know, it's one of the biggest festivals in Italy for that summer. And knowing what type of mode he's in right now, why not do it? So let me ask you guys this in the comments section. Do you think that this is actually going to happen? Because I feel as if, you know, from a Kendrick fan standpoint, I can't be bamboozled anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's where I'm kind of at with this whole thing.
This is confirmation because they're using this as a means to actually sell tickets to this show. And going back to the actual translation, he will play the pieces of the new album long awaited by fans. So they're not saying he'll be playing some pieces. They're saying he'll be playing the pieces, meaning that, to me, I read this as being full songs. Because a lot of people on Twitter and in the community are speculating, saying, oh, maybe he's just going to be previewing some snippets off the album.
But why would they sell it like that?
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. And not only that, but I just feel like it is time for Kendrick to drop, and the summer time does make sense. But what this tells me more than anything is that this album is probably going to be out before June 23rd.
That's facts, all right? So listen, I did some research, all right? And if you go back to his three previous releases, it kind of makes sense, all right? So let's go back to 2015, To Pimp a Butterfly, March 15th. Untitled Unmastered in 2016, March 4th. And then Damn, April 14, 2017. So if you really look at it, his past three drops that were prominent, let's say, were really within that range. So do you think he sticks to that spring routine, or do you think he gets closer to that date?
Yeah, I definitely think he probably drops in springtime. And another cool thing, too, is the fact that when he tried rolling his album out back in 2020, a lot of the rumors were saying that he was going to be dropping in March and that he had European festivals lined up for the summertime. And it's the same vibe this time because he's doing one of his shows in Italy. He's also rumored to be headlining the Glastonbury Festival in England. So it seems like he's kind of repeating that same cycle that he wanted to execute back in 2020 once he opened up PG Lang and started, you know, doing some hinting at some new music. So everything's looking good, and at this point, I just feel like the whole culture needs the music because every time he comes out, he proves once again that he's the best rapper of this generation. And for that 5 or 2% of people that don't think that he is, he's going to prove them that he is really one of the greatest to ever do it. And I just know that with all the time that he took on this, I'm sure it's a concept that's really fleshed out because that's how all of Kendrick's albums are. They all start off with a concept, with a major idea. And I just think that this is going to be experimental. I think it's going to be one of his better albums of all time.
You really think so? It's going to be on that upper echelon?
Top 3 of his catalog, I feel like. What about
that's
you?
A really big statement. I would probably, you know what? I don't want to do expectations because I feel as if when I do that, I'm going to go into that listening experience and I'm going to be like, oh, fuck this. You know, like it doesn't really meet my standards. But I'm going to ask you guys another question for the comment section, all right? Where do you guys think that this is going to place within his discography? Because this is a really good conversation to have because there's a lot of anticipation behind this. And we actually did a video on Will Kendrick Lamar live up to the hype? You guys could go watch it. It's on the channel. And, you know, we were talking about Kendrick coming back and, you know, really proving a point this time. But I want to talk about another update that actually was supposed to come this week or the week before. It was the whole Billboard thing, right? Because Billboard got, you know, some really good confirmations from sources that said that he would be dropping a single either on the 4th or the 11th. Then there was the whole Apple Music, you know, rumor that was going around. You know, Ebro said that one of his producers, you know, confirmed that there would be a single coming. So that's my question, you know, like what is going to happen with that?
And the idea idea with that was that he was going to be dropping right before the Super Bowl on February 11th. Obviously, it didn't happen. So yeah, those updates weren't maybe that reliable, but it was a big source like Billboard coming out to say it. So I feel like a new single is going to be dropping very soon.
You think
My
so?
guess, a couple of weeks, maybe a month tops. And then he starts rolling out the album.
All right, so would you want the Hard Part 5, or would you want it to go in a different direction?
Listen,
with the
I
single?
want Kendrick to annihilate everybody. I really want him to just kill every rapper the same way that he did on the Hard Part 4, the same way he did on that Control verse, because we're lacking that competition. I always say it, but he's the one to always reignite that fuse, and I feel like that's what we need. Like for the album, I want something spiritual. I want something that's going to be maybe politically or culturally impactful. But in terms of this single, in terms of his comeback single, first time in 5 fucking years, I want Kendrick to be on that vicious mode where he's just ripping through a verse and just giving his bars and also putting the whole industry on blast. That's what I want.
There was something interesting that was actually tweeted by Punch, and this came 6 hours ago at the time of this recording.
Interesting.
And he had said, nothing seems sustainable anymore. Even when we have moments that feel like something, they're gone the next moment. So do you think that's why they've been taking so long on this release? Because they really wanted to stick with the fans, and they're maybe afraid that this album comes hyped for a couple of weeks, and then after that, boom, it's gone the next day.
100%, because that's actually something that Mixed by Ali, which is, one of Kendrick's engineers, actually his main engineer, he said that in an interview. He's like, the culture that we are living in now for music consumption is that there's so much music dropping at the same time that it kind of becomes a black hole where you drop something, gets lost in this black hole, and people don't actually take the time to appreciate it. And that's why I think Kendrick taking this much time will make it a bigger moment for the whole community. But I'm just hoping the next album doesn't take another 5 years to come out, man. Because
that would be crazy.
I'm always starving for new Kendrick music. You know what I mean?
For sure. And it feels lonely. You want something that sticks, because this is my opinion on the game right now. There's very few projects that are really sticking throughout my rotation, because either they're lacking in quality, they're lacking in substance, or you just don't feel as if there's that replay value anymore. And again, we had covered that in another conversation with Is Trap Dying, but we had talked about that specifically. So guys, listen, this is very interesting. Hopefully we do end up getting a new Kendrick Lamar album this year. But as Lou mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we will be covering everything Kendrick Lamar related for this new rollout for 2022. So hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for watching the full video. And if you're new to NFR, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we'll be keeping you guys updated with the latest album releases in terms of update videos, album reviews, and our own original series on the weekly. And we also have our Patreon plan available in the description below, where you can access weekly bonus content and also access to our Discord. So be sure to check out all of that, and we'll catch you in the next one.